Alright everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we're back on track. Talking about DEI and the next big flop that's coming out, Flintlock Siege of Dawn. So let's cue up the music, and we'll get right to it. Alright, so it looks like the woke gaming media begin their narrative blitz for upcoming Sweet Baby Inc. influenced game Flintlock Siege of Dawn. Founder of the Steam curator list, Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, and DEIDetected.com, Cabrutus Rambo revealed that Flintlock Siege of Dawn was influenced by Sweet Baby Inc. and the company's CEO Kim Belair. He cited an interview in Edge magazine with the COO of the game's developer A44, Andrea Tops Harjo, that confirmed Belair's involvement. This is going to be another what do you call it? Forspoken, I think. But the outlet reported, for Flintlock, it was Tops Harjo who brought on Kim Belair, the Montreal-based narrative director who has advocated for better representation in stories as a means of bringing new and exciting ideas to games. Harjo explained, she took the wonderful base layer Derek had, the world, and just elevated it. She added, you know the difference when there's a person who's reflecting at you, and it's true? There's a certain truth that resonates that can't be faked. I know some people won't notice, but the people who are attuned to that, they'll get it immediately. Yeah, the people who are attuned to it won't buy it. That's what's going to happen. You guys are going to fail. It's going to be another failed game. And another closed studio, probably. The interview also details the game's narrative is full of woke ideological propaganda. Harjo noted, those gods are almost a symbol of colonialism. They are people who have taken over your agency. What do you do when you wrestle with that structure to find and gain your own identity? It's still a game, it's still gods and guns, but when you look at it from that lens, there's another layer on top of that. From Nor being a woman of color, it makes the character and dynamic even more an echo of reality. I'm getting bored hearing about all this crap. So, here's Cabrutus talking. Hey guys, I added another game to my curator list. The game is called Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. And as shown in this physical copy of the Edge magazine, it involves Kim Belair. Blah, blah, blah. You know, yeah, this was back in March. Following Cabrutus Rambo adding the game to Sweet Baby Inc., Detected Curator list, former World of Warcraft team leader Mark Kern also claimed that the game had been overrun by woke and cited an anonymous source. SPI game Flintlock by A44 Games has been overrun by woke. I used to work there. Flintlock was a good project with lots of potential. Then it was ruined. So let's go through it. He continued, before I go further, please note this is a rumor from a source that seems very knowledgeable about the studio's inner workings. Take that as it is. If others would like to verify, please DM me anon. The CEO and COO at A44 are no longer with the company, but the damage seems to have been done. The good devs at A44, I tell you how to fix at the end of the thread. Then he added, do you know the protagonist of Flintlock used to be white? When COO and casting director Andrea Tops Harjo joined the studio, her first actions were to change the character to hire Sweet Baby Inc. and change the main character to a POC. This marked the beginning of the problems with the game and studio. Look, it's another ugly black woman. How wonderful. I mean, it's just over and over again. It's the same crap. She's probably lesbian, too. I mean, it's just the way they do it, man. They make these unattractive characters, these over and over again. But anyway, next he shared, Andrea Tops Harjo is rumored to have used the company's funds and manpower to power her personal agenda and projects on initiatives not related to the game or even the studio itself. One such initiative that I found is Inclusion FX, a VFX company and advocacy company with shades of Sweet Baby Inc. Here's the bio from the company. She held this position at Flintlock at the same time she ran Inclusion FX. He added, I asked and confirmed, yeah, I have witnessed our UI artists making art assets for its website as their spirit tasks. Wow, so she had them working for her company there. That's kind of wrong. Kern continued, aside from working with Sweet Baby Inc. and making changes to the game, Audra also directed numerous changes in HR in her role as COO. In 2021, most developers were denied raises and evaluations were postponed for at least 6 months. Audra told HR to inform anyone who complained or asked questions that the reason is because I said so. Wow, she sounds like a real dictator. She also ordered the HR department to hide the salaries of the top execs of the company. HR tried to help, but were unable to get past this. The team was worried about the studio finances. Meanwhile, the new hires and changes to the game resulted in a project where these people know nothing about how video games made. After nearly 2 years of these DEI changes at A44, the damage has been done, he asserted. At this point, the studio was purchased for $175 million, an unusually high sum for a small studio, by the way, by Kelper Interactive in September 2021, a gaming collective fund whose founder also founded the Kowloon Knights Gaming Fund. It was at this point that Audra, the COO, left the company. Perhaps that was the start of a cleanup of the game's troubles. Then, Kern shared, the state of the game is unknown at this time, but is believed to be in shambles after this 2-year round of DEI changes. And we know now A44 reached out to Cabrutus to refute SBI's involvement, saying they are no longer involved and all their changes reversed. But when Cabrutus asked for proof, they refused to speak to him any further. He concluded, here's my advice to Kepler and the good folks left holding the bag at A44. You reverted this SBI changes good. Announce that you've terminated the services with SBI and watch your PR soar. Gamers will flock to you. Don't try to hide it. Keep your MC a POC, but don't tokenize the character. Make it a great character with quality writing, one we all can love. Remove any sermons or preachiness or anti-white, anti-male racism and sexism from the game if it still remains. Don't lecture your audience. Embrace the game and they will embrace you. Good luck and my genuine best wishes. I'll tell you what, it'd be kind of cool if they did do that, if they refuted all the SBI crap and definitely pulled it out of the game. And again, like you said, you don't need to change your character at this point. That would be way too much. You'd need to, but get rid of the preachiness, get rid of the garbage that goes along typically with these characters and makes them absolutely insufferable. Following the game being added to the Steam Curator list in Kern's report, Lizzie Kane, the Senior Operations and Growth Manager for Kepler Interactive, the video game developer publishing the game, raged on social media. She wrote on X, absolutely fuming, vibrating off the effing plane of reality. This piss-weak pseudo-journalism that the far-right GG are taking is so vile. Incredible to see in real time and closer to home how wrong Grums is and how damaging he and his weird troop are. As noted by YouTuber Vera Dark now, numerous woke media outlets are attempting to run defense for the game. Stacey Henley wrote a piece at The Gamer titled Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn is a hit in need of a crowd. She concludes the article ironically by admitting it's anything but a hit. Playing it felt like preparing sound bites for future conversation. I played it at Summer Game Fest once. Yeah, it was alright. Shame I never really found its crowd. I hope I'm wrong, because there's a lot to like about Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, but just a month out from release, I find myself fearful of the future. Oh, this schmuck, David Smith at Kotaku Australia, also tried to hype up the game. However, he compared it to Square Enix's epic failure Forspoken, which saw its game developer Luminous Productions shut down and absorbed back into Square Enix. Smith's headline blared, Flintlock, Siege of Dawn looks like Forspoken, but actually good this time, he wrote in the article. That's what I said earlier. It looks like Forspoken, but actually good this time. I'm seeing spells and guns, which are obviously two great tastes that taste great together, but there's also quite a bit of verticality and dexterous character movement, which is always great to see. It's also described as a Souls light, which I appreciate. Of note, he provides no information on the story or narrative. I wouldn't compare anything to Forspoken, man. That's a kiss of death. Interesting, Brad Norton at Dexerto appeared to provide a more honest review of the game, or of the demo. His headline stated, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, a competent Souls-like with a rough demo. In the article, Norton writes, the game ultimately feels a little rough around the edges, unable to hone in on any particular strength. In one moment, I was firing off explosives, easily knocking down foes from afar. In another, a single enemy took me out of action in 2 strikes. Then I found myself in the middle of a platforming-based puzzle. It was all a bit jumbled together with little in the way of proper direction. He even noted he began avoiding combat in the game, too. Before long, even in a brief hands-off window, I found myself simply ignoring most enemies. With multiple sprawling paths forward, I found it more effective to just avoid combat altogether, sprinting through areas to get to the next step in the quest. Though I'm not entirely sure how that's how the game is meant to be played. Norton concluded it seems to be a competent enough Souls-like with a bit of added flair, but its limitations are also quite evident, existing in that AA space and presenting decently enough, but not being quite as epic in scope or dazzling with its visuals to draw folks in. It's a bit of a tough sell. That sounds brutally honest. When I see a female character with a haircut like that, it tells me all I need to know about the messaging and the narrative. It's true, man. It's really true. The whole shaved head, side head, and yeah, everybody's over that look, you know? Everybody's over that look. So, I think it's got the kiss of death already being associated with Sweet Baby Inc. I don't know if there's anything they could do to actually save this game at this point. And I feel bad for the studio. I mean, if the clowns that were in charge of this project and made the deal with Sweet Baby Inc. are already gone, and they left the studio behind and the developers behind, well, shame on them. What a garbage move that is. I hope they're out of the industry and gone for good, because we don't need pieces of crap like that in this industry. It's bad enough. It's hard enough as it is. If these guys backed out and pulled all that crap out, then it's like Kern said, explain that. Go out there and yell it from the mountaintops. People will buy the game. I would buy the game if they rejected it and proved it, you know. I'd be pissed if they said they did, and then I went in there and I'm getting lectured and anti-white and anti-male and colonialism this, and, you know, the game's more of a message in a game and all that. No, that would make me sick. But if they got rid of it, I would gladly support them and, try to help that studio out. So moving forward, they understand what it means to make a good game and how to make a good game and how to avoid that outside influence that is such a destructive force in the gaming industry of these days. Unfortunately, my prediction is this game's going to crap, and A44 is going to get shut down or seriously downsized or absorbed into another developer, all within 6 to 10 months from the release date of the game itself. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Anyway, let me know what you think about this game. You think it's going to be a hit, or do you think it's going to be shit? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.